What is the dumbest idea you had in the middle of a stressful situation? Forgot I had a pizza box in the oven and started to preheat. Not my best moment. Ran down after smelling smoke to see the box on fire. Oh no. Instead of using the fire extinguisher right next to the oven, I grabbed the box and instead of throwing it immediately in the sink behind me, I ran outside with it. My hands were pretty much cooked 1/4 of the way through for a few weeks. Ouch. When I was a kid, I was playing with matches in my room, started a small fire and began to panic. Solution? Direct the air from my fan towards the fire to blow it out. Oh no! You can imagine how that went. My dinner was in the oven, it caught on fire. Instead of attempting to put out the fire, I took a picture of it and texted it to my mum for advice. I was 39 years old. Wow. Maybe I should just take a nap. Oh great, now I have less time to get my work done. Yes. I was locked out of my house for 2 hours and my solution is to lay on the ground and cry. Oh crikey. Not me, but my dad. We are Australian and drive on the left side of the road. While driving in Germany, he turned onto the wrong side of the road, he pulled over with the car still facing the wrong way, and instead of just turning around, lifted the hood of the car so that it would look like he'd pulled over with car troubles instead. Stood there for several minutes before finally leaving. That was supposed to somehow mitigate the embarrassment of driving on the wrong side of the road. My hair was getting long, hard to manage. I was also just stressed in general about school. For some reason, I associated these two things and thought getting my head shaved was the answer to all of my problems. Oh no, I actually went ahead with it. Oh wow. During the initial stage of an anaphylactic shock from my nut allergy, I didn't want to kill the vibe of the party I was at, so I told my friends I wasn't feeling well and left. Everyone tried to help, but I insisted I was just tired. Called 911 about 2 minutes on my walk back home when I realised it was a much worse reaction than practically paralysed me on the sidewalk. Wow. I was once in a fight. The guy ran at me to tackle me and I put him in a headlock and fell backwards. So my back was on the ground with him in a headlock. A huge crowd was around us. I knew if I let him go, he'd have the advantage being I was on my back. So I started just talking to the crowd, giving a commentary and making jokes. It just made him super mad and go into savage state. I learned never hold a guy in a headlock that has a free hand. Ooh. Was having a panic attack, tried to calm myself with some whiskey. Turns out taking a depressant to relieve anxiety only makes your anxiety worse. I usually have the thoughts that jumping out the window would somehow help me. Not sure if this counts. When I was younger, this guy and I broke out of a juvie during the night. I suggested we go to this park where there are usually people smoking weed. Nobody was there, just 3 dudes off to the side. We went over to talk to them and after a bit we ended up snorting heroin for the first time. We both got really sick. Wow. Vomiting every 5 minutes. We were both in such bad shape with nowhere to go, we figured we only had one choice. We broke back into juvie, never got caught. What? Lucky you're alive. When I was in high school, we had to complete a notebook full of work and get it graded. It was time to hand them in and my friend wrote penis on the front cover. I panicked and wrote an S in front of it to spell out spenus. I'm glad my teacher had a good sense of humour. I was fixing my guitar amp. I grabbed a can of lubricant instead of air spray and sprayed it all over the amp circuit. Oh no. In a fit of genius, I took the amp board into the tub to wash it all off before it damaged anything. I don't have that amp anymore. I can't tell you how many times in college I'd be walking to a midterm or final exam and think about stepping in front of a bus. Oh wow. It was more of an intrusive thought than an actual desire, but the idea was that the overwhelming anxiety I had about the upcoming exam could be instantly and permanently solved. Whoa. Funny thing is, I always did fairly well on tests, mostly A's and B's. The stress and anxiety was completely unnecessary. My kitten started choking and my family didn't know what to do. I said, should we do mouth to mouth? And my dad leaned forward to do it, but then stopped and realised that you don't do that on a choking person. So at least I wasn't alone in my stupidity. Calling the police while getting mugged. I acted on it though and got stabbed 3 times in the neck after doing so. Oh wow, that's not good. The fact you can type is a good thing. I hissed when someone said hi to me. When I was about 9, I was in the car with my mum. I was fiddling with a cigarette lighter, the one you push into the console that heated up. I pulled it out and was about to touch it when she firmly told me to put it back and not touch it again. We were on our way back from the grocery store and had to get gas. She pulls over, tells me to wait in the car while she gets gas. My 9-year-old self decides to outsmart her. I took one of the plastic bags from the store and wrapped it around my finger and decided if I had that in place, it technically wasn't me touching it, it was the plastic. It played out as you'd expect. Ouch. I ended up melting a plastic bag onto my finger and the situation involved me screaming my head off. Wow. My school did a school shooting practice without warning. Also, in my country, there hasn't been a school shooting ever. My school had never done a practice before and they did not tell us what was happening, just started pulling kids in classrooms and blocking doors. When it started to dawn on me that we were in what I thought was a school shooting, I wanted to go onto the roof because I thought it was safe there. I would not have been safe there. Why is the first thing our human minds think, let's go through the window? Former restaurant server, on and off throughout undergrad and all of grad school. On busy nights when I was super weeded, so busy you can't even think straight. Every table needs something at once and the kitchen is yelling for you in the bar. Made you the wrong drink and you just got seated again. I would have to fight the urge to just leave. Should have just left, honestly. I was sitting in my living room as a kid. I was making a Lego set and the heat got me very stressed. My brother came in and I shouted at him for disturbing me. I figured a push would stop him from annoying me and I pushed him into the fireplace. Oh wow. He got a 2nd-degree burn and I told him I'd give him my Halloween candy if he didn't tell our parents. He's kept that secret for 14 years. Wow. The first day that I started roofing the machine that kept the tar hot caught on fire. I grabbed a water hose and began to spray. Anyone who knows anything about simple grease fires knows that what happened next, and this was not a simple grease fire. That was my last day roofing. Wow. Shaving all of my hair off. I was a depressed teen girl with home problems. That's sad. Turned out alright and I kept it shaved for 6 months. Good for you. Throw a pencil at a friend to ask for help. Got kicked out of the class for that and for what I did. Once I was on the descent into the mountains. I don't know why, but I decided to run. I was 6 years old. As you can imagine, I could not stop. I just could not feel my legs. Out of despair, I decided to fall at a great speed into the bushes. Ouch. I had a full-on panic attack. Thought it would be smart to lock myself in the half bathroom. I ended up on the toilet for 3 hours until my wife came home from work, still in full-blown manic mode. She tried to unlock the door, the handle came apart. I'm losing it and I can't get off the toilet to help because my legs are asleep from sitting on it for the last 3 hours. Not good. We look back and look at our security footage as it looks like Keystone Corpse watching her trying to help me, and we both get a good chuckle from it now. Wow. I can't remember the situation or context at all, and all I remember is that I started Fortnite dancing out of fear. Dad was in the hospital and my uncle was driving me home. Uncle made a joke about selling me. I opened the door while he was going 80 kilometers an hour, saying I would jump out as a joke. Whoa, that got serious real quick. Anytime that I pick up an extremely hot piece of food, burn my fingers and think, quick, eat it. Best one so far. I had 2 exams and didn't know a single word about first one. I slept. Wow. I was driving through town and I saw my boyfriend walking up the road holding hands with a woman. I stopped the car and gave chase. I forgot I was wearing a chicken suit, complete with feet and beak. Oh no. I was alone in the woods, miles from civilization. No good story starts with that, by the way. Suffering from exhaustion and hypothermia. And I started to eat handfuls of snow because I thought maybe it had calories and that would energize me / warm me up. Hypothermia does weird things to your mind, not good. One time I jumped over a balcony to 1 story below to escape a conversation. Oh no. I blamed it on alcohol afterwards as an excuse, but it was an alcohol party even though I didn't drink. It hurt like hell, but I didn't even break a bone, so I guess I got off easy. Pregnant wife started an argument before we both drove to work. Got pretty heated, she got pissed and drove off first. So when I drove backwards and she was still there, sitting in her car, and I backed right into her, put a dent into her car. But instead of looking after my wife and if she was well, I instead checked the car for damages and decided to call insurance while she was still sitting in the driver's seat. Oh, not good. Pretty damn stupid of me. And when I'm thinking back, I don't have the slightest idea what was going on in my mind in that situation. Not proud of it at all. So you shouldn't be. I don't know if it counts as idea, but I start losing common, simple words when under too much stress. It's usually my signal to do something about it before I end up in a loony bin. My brother made half my day miserable. We were driving somewhere and I got tempted to jump out the door on a highway. Oh, not good. I didn't, thank God. I was being followed by some random creep who, no matter where I turned, kept following me after I got off school. So you want to know what my brain told me to do? I started doing the JoJo torture dance and played the music to the mass. I can't make this up. My reasoning was just, if I'm going to die to some random creep, I'm gonna die doing something I love. Wow. I see the thinking, but yeah, I don't know if that worked.